long time no see. It's been a while, hasn't it? Give you a little bit of an update on me, reselling, life, whatever, a little bit of a haul, and we'll leave it at that. Just a quick little video. I'm going to try and get back into making these more regularly, but to be honest, I'd got a little bit burnt out with YouTube and also a bit with reselling. I'd had a lot going on work-wise, personally, everything else over the last year or so, and it just everything had taken its toll. So YouTube was the first sort of thing to go, really. I've got more responsibilities in my day job, which means I've got less time for this, and I still enjoy the reselling, but I've got to be honest, it's a lower priority than it used to be. I've managed to get over the last, well, since I've been doing YouTube, which is, and reselling, probably 4 or 5 years now. I've slowly but steadily been able to get a little bit further ahead at work, which has meant my pay has increased, which means I'm a lot less reliant on reselling as an income. When I first started that, it was a considerable part of my income, and that made a big difference. Now that slack has been taken up by the promotions at work, which means I don't have to rely on this so much. So whereas I was trying to hammer money away through reselling, now it's sort of a very profitable hobby, bit of fun. I don't need to rely on it, but I'm not mucking around. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it properly. Yeah, so I got a little bit burnt out with YouTube, a little bit burnt out with everything else going on, and I kind of felt that because I wasn't sourcing, because I've got so much stock. I've done a stock take recently. Unlisted stock is shocking. With the rate I'm listing stuff, I genuinely think I could go 18 months without buying a thing, and I still will have only probably just got through listing everything here. It's a huge amount. So yeah, I don't really need to go sourcing in a minute, but I am anyway. I've still gone out and bought a few little bits. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I've had to sort of take stock of things, and because I wasn't sourcing, I didn't feel I had anything to say, because most of my videos used to be haul videos. But now I thought, well, it's not really all about that. A lot of it is me explaining what, if I've learned something that can help, that's helped me in my reselling business, then that could help someone else. So I still should share that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I thought I'd pop back on and make a quick video. Let's have a look. What else has been going on? Oh, talking about learning stuff, I put a little video up on Instagram a little while ago, and I'll take a little break in a minute from yakking, and I'll pop the video in. But last year I picked up a ProPress steamer, because I was very clothing heavy. And it's a big commercial grade steamer. I think I picked it up at the car boot for 30 quid, and it's been brilliant for steaming clothes. It's what when you see a shop, clothing shop in town, they will use a ProPress steamer. It's the industry standard. And then I also saw an advert online for something from Tefal, which is like basically a steam cupboard, something that pops up. You put your clothes on the hangers in it, you close the doors on it, and it pumps it full of steam, and effectively all the steam, it causes all the creases to drop out. And I thought, that's pretty clever. I'm not spending 400 quid on that, that's ridiculous. And then I had a little think, and after a couple of days of the cogs wearing, I found in IKEA you can get a little zip up wardrobe with a little hanging rail. And I thought, well, if I have the steam head pumping through into that and I can zip it in, then that will contain all the steam, and then all the clothes I've got in there will hang, and just basically all the wrinkles will drop out, so I don't manually have to steam each one. So I managed to pick up the wardrobe is called a Vuku, V-U-K-U, and I think they're about 13 quid. So I picked up one of those, gave it a go, and it's brilliant. It doesn't get out every single wrinkle, but what the fact is, I can have 10-15 items in there steaming away while I'm doing some photography on this background, and and it's not time. It's just I set it up and it's just going in the background, and because I'm so busy, I don't want to spend half an hour steaming or ironing a load of clothes for photography, where I can have that sitting in the background, steam pumping into it, and then when they're all done, I might have to touch up the front of a few little bits, but the reality is 90% of the work is done and I haven't wasted any time on it. So I'll pop that video in now, you can have a look at this. But yeah, I thought it was quite clever. Sometimes I'm so clever I make myself giddy. Right, this is a £12 IKEA wardrobe. Cheap little thing, 5 minutes to put up. This is a steam generator. And what this means is I've now got a steam cupboard, so I can just pop the clothes inside, hang them up, and steam everything in one go. Right, what do you reckon? I thought it was good. Now, when I shared that video on Instagram, and I thought I was a little bit clever, someone said, what about all the moisture, when the inside get mouldy? And that then made me think, because in this in Cola Cabana in the shed, what I had noticed was in winter it was so cold, the moisture from my breath was condensing on the metal roof, because it's a sheet metal roof up there, and it was ending up with loads of droplets, so it was really humid in here. So I'd then been thinking about getting a dehumidifier, so that's something I'd been looking at recently. But it also then made me think that I can put a dehumidifier in there to then, once everything's steamed, suck all the moisture back out of everything over a day or so, and it means that everything is not damp when it gets put away. So that is something I've been looking at, and guess what I happened to find at the car boot sale today? A bloody great big dehumidifier. Now, whilst I did want a dehumidifier for that little cabinet, that is also bloody massive. This I picked up for 30 quid today. It's by a company called Eco Air, and that can suck 18 litres of moisture out of the air per day. So that is a proper decent one, and I paid 30 quid. They're £200 new. Used ones go for about 100, 120 quid. I've just weighed it with something else. I picked up the car boot. I picked up some scales because I wanted to have some scales out here for when I'm doing my photography. I can then weigh stuff if it's heavy, so I can roughly work out what my postage is going to be. But yeah, that dehumidifier, I had thought about it, but the reality is I'm going to insulate the roof, so we're not going to have that moisture problem here. And the reality is I'm only steaming stuff once a week, twice a week in the background, so the moisture problem isn't going to be there. So that actually, because I've done the research, when I saw that at the car boot, I saw it and I thought, oh, dehumidifier. Then when I picked it up, I thought, bloody hell, that is heavy. That's a serious bit of kit. But yeah, it's 13 kilos, and that's just as a tip is, if you're looking at some electronics at a car boot sale, weight does genuinely often correlate with the quality of an item. If something's very, very light, a lot of the time it's not built very well. That thing being 13 kilos, that's a really, really serious bit of kit. So yeah, 30 quid, should be able to sell it for somewhere between 100, 120, and I'll be laughing all the way to the bank with that. Then if I do need a dehumidifier, I've got the money to buy a little diddy one, because it's only going to be in a cupboard. I'm not trying to dehumidify this whole place, but if I'm dehumidifying a little wardrobe, then I only need a 30 quid one from Amazon. So yeah, all good. Don't need to use that bloody great big industrial thing. What else have I been picking up? Another little tool which I picked up today, which is going to be quite useful. Whoop, is this. Hold on. Got this little thing. Got the plug, and then this rubber hose, and on the end of the rubber hose is this. Any idea? It's an airbrush. So this particular one's actually a makeup airbrush, so you can put on your makeup, foundation, whatever. But that's not what I bought it for. Now I only paid £5. Actually no, I got a little deal with a guy. I paid, for buying both, I got toy car for myself for a little display shelf. So I've got a nice little 24 scale BMW Z8, and so I think I paid £12 for the pair of them, for that and for this. And this is a makeup one, but you can use it also for paint. Now I'm not going to be putting on makeup, but what this is useful for is, as you've probably seen from some of my previous videos, I often tart up trainers and shoes where they've had scuffs, and I'll paint them with leather paint. Now, whilst I can paint them, I do paint them with a paintbrush. Sometimes it doesn't always give you the most even finish. Sometimes you get the odd brush mark, and it does take a while if you're doing a significant area. Now, I wouldn't, because I've got such a backlog now, I don't buy a huge amount of shoes that need a lot of work, because I haven't got the time to do the work. However, because it's a big backlog, I've got shoes that I have previously bought that do need a bit of work. So with this, basically I've got my leather paints. I can mix up the right colours, or if it's white, put my white in there, and basically use this to get a nice even finish, and make them look their absolute best. So the leather paints I use are by this company, Angelus. That particular one, this is called Angelus Walk on Red, and that well, I use the Angelus paints for fixing up any leather work that does need a little bit of a touch up, whether it's a handbag with a scuff, shoes, whatever. But that Angelus Walk on Red is for Christian Louboutin. I don't know if you better see. So there's a Louboutin. So these ones were scuffed up on the sole, so I've been repainting them red. Just got to give it the sheen and a little blend, and they'll be ready for sale at some point soon. But yeah, that airbrush, it just means that I'll be able to fix up trainers or handbags or whatever else it is that needs a little bit of a touch up. And I think new, they vary. A budget one's like 40 quid. Decent one can be 100 and something. This is the budget one. So basically, yeah, I think, yeah, for the toy car for display, and that 12 quid all in, absolute bargain. So that is something that I'm going to use a lot. So for example, I bought a pair of strappy Burberry high heels a while ago. I got them for 2 quid. Fantastic. They're a couple of £100 normally. The reason they were cheap, A, the person didn't know what they had. They were just doing clearance, but the ankle strap was missing. So I then had more recently been looking for another brown pair of strappy heels with an ankle strap. So I've now whipped the ankle strap out of another pair that I bought for 2 quid. What I now need to do is, using that spray gun, I can then spray paint that using the leather paint to get a colour match, and then I've got the Burberrys with the correct ankle brace, the ankle strap. Obviously I declare that it's not the original, but it's been painted and it matches, and the individual can make their decision on whether that's right or wrong. So yeah, so that little thing, I'll let you know how it gets, how I get on with it. Once I've got good at it, I will do a little bit of a demonstration on YouTube at some point. But I think that's going to be a damn useful bit of kit. I'm not going to bore you to death with a huge haul. I'll show you a couple of little bits I picked up today and leave it at that. So got a Moet and Chandon aluminium champagne ice bucket. It's not Moët, it's German company, but not French, so it's Moet. Anyway, so Moet Chandon. I think, what did I pay for that? 3 quid. I don't think it's worth a huge amount, but I thought that was really cool, so I might use that for the summer before selling that on. So that wasn't there as a big money maker. These, however, you can see they're quality at a distance. So things that immediately caught my eye were just the quality of the leather. You've got this high quality Goodyear welted stitch all the way around, and you can see Goodyear welt on the bottom, and you can see the little label there, Oliver Sweeney. Oliver Sweeney boots are fantastic. Oliver Sweeney footwear all round is fantastic. These are a Danby in a decent size, 9.5. And what did I pay? Got these the other week, not today. I think it was less than a tenner. It might have been 12 quid. These go for somewhere between good quality Oliver Sweeney boots, anywhere from sort of 50 to 100 pounds. So for the money out, that's a damn good income there. So very happy with them. And bit footwear heavy today. Scarpa walking boots. Over the years, I've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds through Scarpa. So whenever I see any Scarpa boots, these are a more old-fashioned one, but I've sold Scarpa boots for anywhere between, for this sort of style, somewhere around the sort of £50 mark, to more modern ones that take crampons, that sort of stuff, for 180 plus pounds. So significant income to be made if you're buying them at the right price. So this pair needs a minimal cleanup. Needs a clean, and then I'll give them some dubbing. One of the things you can, if you see anything with a Vibram sole, usually indicates it's a high quality shoe. But yeah, Scarpas, if you ever see them and you can get them cheap, great. I paid a tenner for these, so very, very happy with that. Another pair of shoes. These ones, again, a little bit skanky there. Now, these little pebbles, as they're called, they're well, little knobbles. Sort of the trademark of a company called Todd's. I don't know if you can see in between that skank or poo or whatever the hell it is. You can see Todd's there. Probably see it better in there. Todd's loafers are very, very expensive. These ones don't look in the greatest of shape, but once I've given them a damn good clean up, I can re-heel that myself. I've got the equipment. So re-healing shoes probably going to cost you, or these days, probably 16, 18 quid just to get the heels done. But over the years, I've built up and got the equipment to do it myself. The leather work, I can sort that out with leather creams, polishes, leather paints, whatever I need to. And they just need a little bit of a reshape. So I can spray some water in them, warm water, stuff them with a hot towel, then put in my shoe trees to reform that leather back into the shape it should be, give them a polish up. So that only paid £1 for these, because the lady clearly didn't know who made them and that they were a good quality shoe. So quite picky with shoes. I don't just go, I go for the brands, but if it's a brand and a high quality brand, high quality manufacturer, and it's an ugly shoe, it's going to sit on my shelf for longer. So I try and get stuff in a style that I think is going to sell well, basically something with some taste. If it's a bit of a shoe that I think is gopping, it's going to take a while to shift, so I'm probably not going to pick it up. What else did I have? Give me 2 secs. So I showed you earlier those bathroom scales. They're salted. I paid 3 quid for them, and it is literally so that I've got scales in the house when I'm actually listing stuff, but sometimes it's just useful to have the scales out here when I'm doing the photos, just so I can make a quick note of it, and it will help me save time coming in and out of the house to go and weigh stuff. So I've got scales out here, scales in there. This I picked up in a charity shop the other week. Hold on, let's open this up. So, small ladies belt, £2, but mulberry, and I think that's vintage mulberry looking at the label. So yeah, 28-inch waist, so 2 quid for a mulberry belt. Very happy with that. And then last but not least, we've got ladies blazer linen, and that is Malin-Berger. I paid £5 for that. I don't know what that's worth at the moment. I don't know. The only reason I picked that up is I'd recently sold, not recently, a couple of years ago, I sold a Malin-Berger belt, and I think I sold that for over 40 quid just for the belt. So when I sold that for a £5, I thought it was worth a punt. I don't think I should go too far wrong. So yeah, that was that really. Yeah, I will try and make some more videos as and when. I just can't promise how often they're going to be. If I haven't got anything to say, I won't say it, but if I've had a good idea like that steam cabinet, then I'll come on here and tell you. I still need to actually do an update on this whole tack shed, as a lot of people would call it, but it's in pretty good shape. There's a couple of leaks in the roof which isn't ideal, so I need to sort that out. I need to sort out the insulation, and I need to put in permanent electrics, because I'm currently working off a huge extension lead that runs down to the house, so that is a priority to get sorted out, and then the place is finished. But it's pretty good. I've basically got an entire wall of storage. I've got a wall of glass there, as in massive patio doors. Got massive patio doors there, so I've got two corners of patio doors to let in a lot of daylight, and then I've got this huge wall behind me which I can use as a plain background for the photos, and then that leaves me with a decent amount of floor space which is flexible. So whether that means I can use it for listing, photos, whatever else, that's great. But I've also got an exercise bike and weight bench and some other crap in here. So yeah, I do need to try and sort it out to make sure it's much more usable. But while I'm still building, it's yeah, slightly chaotic. I guess I've taken up a new midlife crisis hobby, which I guess I'll finish the video with. So I'll put a little video of what I've taken up recently. I'm quite enjoying it. It's a little bit more technical than I thought it would be, but learning every day, and really quite enjoying it. So yeah, push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. So that'll do for now. I'll catch up with you guys at some point shortly, and yeah, stay tuned. Click the bell icon and all that rubbish, because I'm not going to be banging through multiple videos a week like a lot of other people. This will be a sort of as and when I can, but yeah, I'm going to try and get back into the habit, and hopefully spread some knowledge and help you all make more money. So I shall see you next time.
And then see where you're going to go. There you go, much better. You stay more upright, you stay linear.
Yeah,